to survive. And we think that the capital leaves them alone because before the dark days, District 13's principal industry was nuclear development. They're graphite miners, I say, but then I hesitate because that's the information I got from the capital. They had a few small mines, yes, but not enough to justify the population that size. That, I guess, is the only thing we know for sure, says Twill. My heart's beating too quickly. What if they're right? Could it be true? Could there be somewhere to run besides the wilderness? Somewhere safe? If a community exists in District 13, wouldn't it be better to go there, where I might be able to accomplish something, instead of waiting here for my death? But then, what if there are people in District 13 with powerful weapons? Why haven't they helped us? I say angrily. If that's true, why do they leave us to live like this? With the hunger and the killings and the games. And suddenly, I hate this imaginary underground city of District 13 and those who sit by watching us die, no better than the capital. We don't know, Bonnie whispers. Right now, we're just holding on to hope that they exist. That snaps me back to my senses. These are delusions. District 13 doesn't exist because the capital would never let it exist. They're probably mistaken about the footage. Mockingjays are about as rare as rocks and about as tough. If they could survive the initial bombing of 13, they're probably doing even better by now. Bonnie has no home. Her family is dead. Returning to District 8 or assimilating into another district would be impossible. Of course, the idea of an independent, thriving District 13 draws her. I can't bring myself to tell her she's chasing a dream as insubstantial as a wisp of smoke. Perhaps she and Twill can carve out a life somewhere in the woods. I doubt it. But they're so pitiful, I have to try to help. First, I give them all the food in my pack, grain and dried beans mostly, but there's enough to hold them for a while if they're careful. Then I take Twill out into the woods and try to explain the basics of hunting. She's got a weapon. If that was necessary, it can convert to solar energy into deadly rays of power so that it could last indefinitely. When she manages to kill her first squirrel, the poor thing is mostly charred mess because it took a direct hit to the body. But I show her how to skin it and clean it. With some practice, she'll figure it out. I cut a new crutch for Bonnie. Back at the house, I peel off an extra layer of socks for the girl, telling her to stuff them into the toes of her boot to walk, then wear them on her feet at night. Finally, I teach them how to build a proper fire. They beg me for details of the situation in District 12. I tell them about life under thread. I can see they think this is important information that they will be bringing to those who run District 13. I play along so as not to destroy their hopes. But when the light signals late afternoon, I'm out of time to humor them. I have to go now, I say. They pour out thanks and embrace me. Tears spill from Bonnie's eyes. I can't believe we actually got to meet you. You're practically all anyone talked about since... I know. Since I pulled out those berries, I say tiredly. I hardly notice the walk home through the wet snow that has begun to fall. My mind is spinning with new information about the uprising in District 8 and the unlikely but tantalizing possibility of District 13. Listening to Bonnie and Twell confirm one thing. President Snow has been playing me for a fool. All the kisses and the endearments in the world couldn't have derailed the momentum building up in District 8. Yes, my holding out the berries had been a spark, but I had no way to control the fire. He must have known that. So why visit my home? Why order me to persuade the crowd of my love for PETA? It was obviously a ploy to distract me, to keep me from doing anything else inflammatory in the districts, and to entertain the people in the capital, of course. I suppose the wedding is just a necessary extension of that. I'm nearing the fence when a mockingjay lights on the branch and trills at me. At the sight, I realize I never got a full explanation of the bird on the cracker and what it signifies. It means we're on your side. That's what Bonnie said. I have people on my side? What side? Am I an unwitting face of the hope for rebellion? Has the mockingjay on my pin become a symbol of resistance? If so, my side's not doing too well. You've only to look at what happened in District 8 to know. I stash my weapons in the hollow of the nearest log, or in the log nearest my home in the scene, and head for the fence. I'm crouched down on one knee, preparing to enter the meadow, but I'm still so preoccupied with the day's events that it takes the sudden screeching of an owl to bring me to my senses. In the fading light, the chain link looks innocuous, but as usual, what makes me jerk my hand back is the sound, like the buzz of a tree full of tracker jackets' nests, indicating the fence is alive with electricity.